Hello everyone, and welcome to just a quick little video here regarding your Project 4. We are sort of in a bit of a transition period here, and definitely obviously have the holidays coming up. Your Project 4 is due next week, basically a week from today, Monday, November 24th. There's no exercises for this week. Simply working on your project is sort of where you should be headed. I'm going to show you something quick in Flash, and again, it's not an exercise, but simply something in relation to this sort of photographic portion of Project 4. So the idea is, and I'm not going to read over all this, visually combine the sort of mixture of elements that are real, meaning photographic images, and elements that are unreal, animated vector graphics. This first sentence really sort of encapsulates what I want you to sort of think about. I'm looking for contrast, and what I often think is sort of interesting contrast between things that appear obviously quite real in the photographic sense, and things that are often quite simple in the sort of animated vector sense. These things next to each other, meaning something very sort of simply animated, potentially interacting with the photographic imagery. Often that contrast and that very sort of clear difference is what is kind of interesting about this project. Okay. Last but not least, sort of photographs can do many things, including set the scene, introduce a character, or reveal a portion of the narrative. Change it up. The scenery, how you use these photographic images, hopefully is kind of freeing. You don't have to draw everything. You don't have to draw all the sort of things and sort of setting the scenes, as they say, things that maybe you've had to drawn in the past. Again, the only requirement is you used images not taken off the internet, and then you animate on top of that. Please make them 30 seconds. We've had some problems with people not making movies the entire length. You've hopefully taken a look at the Julia Pott video, Belly. She has many other videos that mix the real and the unreal. The imagery in Belly is often very subtle. Sometimes it's very obvious, but it's a pretty, I think, sort of visually kind of stunning juxtaposition of real and unreal. So email me with any questions about Project 4. Quickly, looking in Flash here, this is a JPEG that I brought in. You'll see that it's just been imported into the library, and it's a JPEG. If I use my selection tool and move it around, it's sort of one big, it's kind of fairly large. It's a picture. It's a raster-based picture. A couple things about that. I can click on that, the sizing tool, and size it, adjust it. And last but not least, we can sort of get rid of portions of this image, okay? Meaning that if you were wanting to use just parts of this, what you could do, and I'm going to actually click on this and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to insert a new symbol. I'm going to call this kid and paddle. I'm going to make it a graphic. Click OK. I'm going to paste this down, and I'm going to click on this. And if you remember from when we did that bird movie clip, we can do this what's called modify break apart. Okay, what that does is it breaks this thing apart and makes it so that it's not necessarily one contained unit. You'll see that if I can sort of select portions of it, I can hit delete and get rid of portions. I can also simply use other tools, meaning I'm going to go over to the eraser tool and erase portions of this thing and potentially make get rid of large portions of this image so that I can just use, say, in this instance, maybe just him and not that background. Okay, so don't be constrained by the sort of square or rectangular of an image. Note that you can sort of pull these things apart. I could have several different versions of this. I could get rid of the background and make a large copy of him in the paddle and a small copy of him in the paddle, just noting that you can sort of pull these things apart using that break apart. Okay. Email me with any questions about Project 4. That's really, you'll see on D2L, that's really kind of the only thing you're going to be working on. After next week, I'm going to introduce the final project right before Thanksgiving, and believe it or not, we're sort of coming towards the end. That's it for now. Again, email with any questions, and looking forward to seeing Real and Unreal.